Hey Trailblazers, we're back with another episode. I'm Nandis, ESL Trailblazer. Let's make something happen. Burn to learn this week, okay? So, wait. What is that? You smell that? What is that? Food! That's right, food! I am on a roll with this barbecue episode from last week, and I thought let's continue and move forward and keep going on this train, this food train. It smells so good. Now, you know what happens when you open an English language book, right? There are sections and chapters in there. Each unit is on a topic, and a lot of times there's a unit on the kitchen. Unfortunately, all it focuses on is the recipes, the ingredients, the main ingredients that are in food that everybody already knows, and maybe some cooking methods, and that's it. All right, but what about the culture? Okay, culture is a huge part of food. As I mentioned in last week's episode in the barbecue lesson, you can check it out. It's right here in this link above. All right, but what about culture and food? There's so much to say. Right after this message, I'll give it to you. Pew. Yes, and we're back. Are you ready? Here we go. 1,000 Island, French, Italian, balsamic, blue cheese, homestead, honey mustard, creamy Caesar. That's the list of salad dressings in America. Here's another list. Żurek, rosół, barszcz, grzybowa, ogórkowa, pomidorowa, kwaśnica. That's not English, I know. Polish list of soups, and I'm just scratching the surface. There's more, okay? By the way, kwaśnica, it's a mountain soup, góral soup, absolutely amazing. It's got a portion of ribs in it. You gotta have it when you come to Poland. If you ever visit, get that soup, okay? So one list, another list, okay? The point is that every culture has their way of doing food and the way they eat food and the culture around food. And, you know, America is very associated with a fast food type of food culture, whereas in the Mediterranean countries, like in Greece, we are all about like the pleasure. And the French are the same, all about the pleasure of food. Like we can sit for hours at the table and just have the food on the table and keep nibbling at it and taking a little bit more, little by little while we're drinking our wine. They don't do that in America. We sit and we drink wine and eat our food for hours in Greece, okay? We love it. It's a pleasure. That's what we do. In America, we treat food like fuel, okay? Fuel for our bodies, for our engines to keep going and get us through that day, okay? That's all. And a lot of people don't regard food with that much pleasure. They just want to eat it and get moving and keep going. Take away, to go, take out, faster, even faster, okay? So there is a huge difference between culture, and I wanna try and dig into this a little bit in this episode today to keep that food train from last week going, okay? The food train, choo 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 choo, okay? So I want to focus on a couple things. These are my topics: salads, soups, breakfasts, and the fast food culture. Okay, so every nation treats food differently, and as I've already mentioned with America, we got the fast food culture, okay? But obviously in the Mediterranean countries and in other places, we don't. All right, so that's one aspect. How do people in the country you come from treat food? Do they want to eat it on the go and keep moving, or do they want to sit down and relax and enjoy it? That's a big aspect that's worth like maybe discussing as a teacher in your lessons when you're talking about food with your students, okay? The other aspect is how different the actual foods are. And I'm mentioning the salad dressings because salad in America is not salad in Greece, and it's not salad in England. Wait, I'm sorry. The salad in England? No, that's not what I meant. Salad in England. Wait. Yeah, so maybe there's salad in England. We'll get back to that. And salad in Poland, completely different thing, okay? So it's worth discussing, worth like exploring a little bit with your students, okay? In Poland, for instance, salad is called surówki, I think, okay? I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, and it's just shredded cabbage, shredded celery, shredded apple, shredded carrot, They're all mixed together. Shredded cabbage, did I say that? Right, okay, so these are shredded, mixed together sometimes, and that's it. And then they just serve it as a side dish. I mean, if you go to eat Asian food, you're gonna get a side dish of this, okay? In Poland, that's how they do it, okay? We don't do that in America. In America, if we order a salad, it's usually like a whole meal. We throw a whole chicken breast on that thing. And then you just heard the list I gave you of the salad dressings. What do you want? What do you want? And there's a lot of iceberg lettuce in there, or romaine if it's a Caesar salad, okay? A lot of lettuce, okay? In Greece, we don't do lettuce so much in salads, all right? We don't put it in salads. We have our Greek standard salad. It comes with tomatoes and cucumbers and olives and onions, and then we put the feta on top, and we drizzle it with olive oil and vinegar. We don't have those dressings. Forget about it. We don't touch it, okay? And back to England. I don't know. If you're watching this and you're English, please help us out, because I don't think you eat salad in England, like, at all. I don't see anybody eating salad. If you do, it's like, what do you call it, a green salad? Like iceberg lettuce, a little bit of tomato, a little bit of cucumber? Do you even put any dressing on there? No wonder nobody eats it. I don't know. Like, try and, enlighten me on this one, please. So, let's move on. That's the salad section right there, okay? Quite a lot to discover. Soup. I gave you the list of the Polish soups. They love soups in this country. They go crazy for soup. Soup is the first meal. The second main meal comes after the soup. Whereas in America, soup, if we eat it, it's very hearty. That's a vocabulary word. Hearty or chunky, another vocabulary word. Because if we eat it, we want it to have big, large pieces of stuff in there. And then when we eat it, we want to be full and be done. It's the meal. That's all. Okay? In Greece, don't really eat soup unless, like, we're sick. In Poland, you know when they eat soup? I'll tell you. Winter, autumn, spring, yes, and summer. That's right, and summer. I know, it's hot in summer. They don't care. They eat soup in summer, okay? They love their soup, all right? And I gave you the list. They make those and many more, all right? So, different. I'm going to breakfast. Oh man, breakfast, the most important meal of the day. And this also varies a great deal in my experience, okay? In America, we treat breakfast with not so much respect. Again, it's on the go. It's on the go as fast as possible. A bowl of cereal, a bagel with cream cheese, okay? If we go to a diner, we get fried eggs with a couple strips of bacon, a couple pieces of toast, maybe some sausages, and that's it. And remember, the culture in America with the way we cook our eggs, though, is important, okay? Sunny side up, over easy. Very important vocabulary for people learning English and planning to go to America, okay? Over easy means that you flip them. That yolk needs to be running, though. You don't cook through that yolk, okay? You flip it very quickly. Sunny side up, you don't flip it at all, okay? That yolk stays nice and running, okay? Done. That is essential for you to know. When I went to Australia, another English-speaking country, they take great care in breakfast, okay? I was so surprised, but very, very happily surprised, okay? The breakfast menu is much more sophisticated, and there's a lot more ingredients and a lot more going on there. I mean, you get like 2 beautiful pieces of sourdough bread perfectly toasted with slices of avocado, maybe some alfalfa, a little bit of aioli sauce next to it, and like 2 beautifully poached eggs, like perfectly configured on top of the sourdough, which has also been perfectly configured in some way. So you get it, and it's like a piece of art. And in America, we just throw it on the plate there, and there you go. Go crazy. All right, so Australia, wow, super impressed. Different. They got like a different way of treating breakfast, you know? Like, it's supposed to be beautiful. All right, and in Poland, breakfast is very meaty, okay? There's a lot of ham. There's some kielbasa, some sausage, slices, there's cheese. They love their dairy, cottage cheese, white cheese. Again, they got some of this cabanos, which is like a beef jerky, better than beef jerky, not so processed, but, you know, also meat. And they go crazy with bread in Poland. They just love it. They eat it with their butter in the morning. Yeah, crazy. So those variations are worth talking about in your classroom. I think they're so valuable. You can have so many conversations. Your students will find those conversations valuable if you get them to talk about these things in class, even if they were with people from their own country, because you can provide them these differences through a text or a listening and get them talking about how interesting or different or strange maybe it sounds to them. Because again, you're going to need to use that food vocabulary and culture probably in a Cambridge exam. It's very likely that you might get that topic, okay? And again, just like the barbecue lesson last week, you can talk about food with anybody you meet. It's a great conversation starter, and culture comes out, and many times you embrace it, and a lot of times you're willing to try. And when we're talking about it, it's very friendly, and it's very open, and I think that is the point of why I'm keep going with the choo-choo train, the food train, choo-choo, and I'm pushing with the food, okay? Remember, with fast food, also, remember, if you're ever traveling, because I've traveled quite a bit around the world, every country seems to have their own, like, fast food, okay? So, in America, well, you know what it is, okay? In England, I wish I was English. I think it's that fried Mars bar that they do in Scotland, for instance. That's something that they do over there. Fish and chips, I'm not sure if it's considered fast food. I think it depends where you get it from, but that's kind of fast food. You know, in Greece, we got the souvlaki. I know people who go to Greece and don't have a souvlaki. I'm stunned. I'm just like, did you go to Greece? Are you sure you went to Greece? Because if you don't have a souvlaki when you go to Greece, then you haven't been to Greece, in my opinion. You just haven't, okay? A souvlaki is like quintessential Greek. Okay, finally, in Poland, they have a 100% Polish genuine fast food item. It's called a zapiekanka. I repeat, zapiekanka. You ever come to Poland, you get one of those babies, okay? I'm not going to tell you what it is. You can Google it. It's phenomenal. Amazing. It's theirs. It's theirs. So every country has their own. I'm sure if wherever you come from, you can think of something, okay? So another point aspect of culture that's worth mentioning in a lesson. You can go so deep into this. You can do multiple lessons on this, okay? And again, it's worth a conversation. So my vocabulary, I've tried to throw you some during this lesson. Of course, I can give you a few more. Remember last week for the barbecue lesson, which you can find in this episode, there's a link above my head. I did rule of thumb. This week it's eyeball it. You gotta eyeball it. When someone gives you a recipe, especially verbally, okay, or you read a recipe in a book and you don't want to use the measurements that the book tells you or that the person who's giving you the recipe verbally is telling you, they tell you eyeball it. So use your own judgment. It means eyeball it. Use your own judgment, how much spice you want to put in, how much herbs of the herbs you want to put in, or salt and pepper, or the sauce, how heavy or creamy you want to make it. Eyeball it. Okay, that's your way of saying you judge it on your own based on your likes, on your tastes. Okay, so that's my word. We also have ingredients, which I've talked about. You saute onions in a pan, you drizzle olive oil on the salad or on a piece of bread, and you sprinkle the cheese on the pasta, or you sprinkle the herbs onto the salad, however you like. Okay, so that's a little bit of vocabulary. Thank you very much for watching and tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please share and subscribe, or sign up for that Freshen Up Fridays newsletter, free lessons, teaching blog, and much more. Wow, burn to learn, right? Another big week coming up. I really value your feedback. You're a great audience, Trailblazers. Take care. Be proud, teachers. Enjoy your week. I'll see you next week for another episode. I'm Nanda signing out. Let's make something happen.